In the twisting corridors of Forrester Creations and the grand estates that house LA's most powerful families, chaos is no longer just a threat, it's the atmosphere everyone breathes. After weeks of lies, betrayal, and damaged trust, the shocking revelation that threatens to collapse everything doesn't come from an outsider. It comes from the very heart of the Logan family. Brooke Logan discovers something she never imagined. Her own daughter, Hope Logan, is the architect behind the dangerous alliance with Lee Finnegan and Luna Nozawa. And the reason is darker than anyone expected. For months, tensions have flared between Hope and Steffi. There's history there, a scorched battlefield of marriages, affairs, custody battles, and power struggles. But what no one suspected, least of all Brooke, is that Hope has been playing a long game of quiet revenge. When Luna arrived, lost and vulnerable, Hope saw an opportunity. She didn't orchestrate Luna's pregnancy, but she did everything in her power to keep Luna close, to shield her, to build a bond that would allow her to weaponize Luna against Steffi and Taylor. Hope was done being the quiet one, the one always walking away with tears while Steffi kept winning. This time, she wanted to flip the board. Hope's goal was chilling in its simplicity. Use Luna as a mirror to reflect chaos back at Steffi. Let Luna get close, let her distract, confuse, provoke. Let her infiltrate Forrester Creations, manipulate public opinion, sow doubt. And with Lee backing Luna from the shadows, it gave Hope just enough distance to remain untouchable. Or so she thought. Brooke finds out the truth in the most brutal way, through a series of encrypted messages uncovered during the ongoing internal investigation into the tampered paternity tests. The IT team, still under Brooke's direct command from her earlier CEO mode crackdown, flags a suspicious relay of communications. What they find is damning. Coded conversations between Hope and Lee, Hope and Luna, even a deleted draft from Hope's private email, outlining a psychological pressure strategy aimed at undermining Steffi's influence at Forrester. When Brooke reads the transcripts, her hands shake. She's not looking at some manipulative outsider. She's looking at her daughter. The girl she raised to be compassionate, honest, and strong is behind a scheme that could destroy not only Steffi, but the fragile piece holding the Forresters and Logans together. Brooke confronts Hope in private. The confrontation is not loud. It's quiet, razor-sharp, and devastating. Brooke demands to know why. Hope, calm and unrepentant, doesn't deny it. She explains everything. Years of being pushed aside. Watching Steffi dominate Ridge's affection. Watching Taylor slide back into their orbit. Watching Brooke be humiliated, again and again, by Taylor's existence in Ridge's life. Hope says she was done watching the cycle. If Brooke wouldn't end it, she would. Luna was the perfect storm, naive, emotional, desperate for validation. All Hope had to do was steer her in the right direction and let chaos do the rest. Brooke is horrified, not just at the plan but at how effective it's been. Luna is now at the center of every scandal. The pregnancy, the lab tampering, the trust fund, the war between the Spencers and Forresters. And now, the truth. Hope has been using Luna as a pawn in a revenge game no one knew was being played. Brooke slaps the table. She demands to know what else Hope has done. Hope stares at her mother and calmly says, "Nothing you haven't considered doing yourself." Brooke is shattered. This is no longer about Steffi. It's about what kind of woman Hope has become. Brooke storms out, unsure of what to do. She knows if she exposes Hope, the fallout will be catastrophic. Ridge will turn his back on her. Taylor will seize the moral high ground. Steffi will have undeniable proof that Hope is dangerous. And the media? The fashion world? The public? They'll crucify Hope for this. And Luna, already branded as manipulative, will be destroyed completely. But if Brooke stays silent, she's complicit. She's allowing Hope to play God with people's lives, all in the name of some warped justice. Meanwhile, Taylor catches wind that something is going on. She confronts Brooke about the delays in the investigation, the sudden hush in meetings, the disappearance of files from the paternity review board. Brooke dodges, but Taylor is too experienced to be brushed off. She begins pressing deeper, sensing that a major revelation is being buried. At the same time, Ridge begins noticing Brooke's uncharacteristic silence on Hope-related matters. The Logan matriarch, usually so vocal in defending her daughter, is suddenly avoiding eye contact and skipping meetings involving Hope's return to the Forrester design team. Backed into a corner, Brooke faces the hardest decision of her life. She has two choices: expose her daughter and fracture the Logan name forever, or cover it up and allow the damage to spread unchecked. As she struggles, Katie and Donna begin asking questions, sensing that Hope's behavior hasn't been entirely pure. Even Carter starts picking up inconsistencies in the official Forrester statements about Luna's employment. The pressure is mounting. Then comes the tipping point. Steffi finds a leaked file. An internal memo, unsigned, that refers to the Logan strategy to neutralize Taylor's influence. A file Brooke had deleted. But Hope never wiped from the backup server. Steffi brings it straight to Ridge. He storms into Brooke's office demanding answers. And Brooke says nothing. For the first time in years, she doesn't defend herself. Doesn't raise her voice. She just stares at the floor. And Ridge knows. He walks out without a word. Hope, now fully exposed, doesn't run. She stands by her actions, claiming that everything she did was for Brooke, to finally break the toxic Ridge-Taylor loop. But what she fails to understand is that Brooke never wanted that kind of help. Not like this. As the scandal breaks publicly, Luna is devastated. Used, manipulated, lied to. Her emotional spiral threatens to send her back into hiding. Lee, now under intense scrutiny from the medical board and the Forrester legal team, distances herself from Hope immediately. Poppy disappears entirely, refusing to speak to anyone. The Nozawa family crumbles under the weight of Hope's machinations. The final fallout is brutal. Hope is suspended from Forrester Creations. Ridge demands that Brooke recuse herself from all board decisions involving the Logan family. Taylor returns with fury in her eyes, demanding full custody over whatever control the Forresters still have. Brooke is left standing in the wreckage of everything she built, not by her enemies, but by her daughter. And yet she never turns Hope in. She never signs the formal complaint. She never files the ethics report that would end Hope's career forever. Because at the end of the day, Brooke knows the truth. Her daughter went too far trying to protect her. That doesn't excuse it. That doesn't make it right. But it makes it impossible for a mother to betray her child. The war is not over. The wounds are deep. But now, everyone knows the truth. And in the world of the bold and the beautiful, truth is the deadliest weapon of all. The fallout from months of buried secrets and psychological warfare within the world of the bold and the beautiful reaches a new, brutal climax. The layers of deception are finally peeled back, exposing not just betrayals between families, but within them. What began as whispers in shadowed hallways now explodes into public reckonings and irreversible choices, all centered around one woman, Luna Nozawa, who realizes too late that she was never in control of her own story. Luna, reeling from the endless spiral of drama she's been pulled into, finally sees the bigger picture. She was never meant to rise on her own. She was chosen, manipulated, and positioned to serve someone else's war. Specifically, Hope Logan's. Hope had always played the victim, always carried herself as the moral compass of the Logan name. But Luna now understands that she was just a pawn in Hope's personal crusade to destroy Steffi Forrester once and for all. The baby, the paternity confusion, the media storm, the trust funds, all tools of strategic chaos. And Luna has had enough. Cornered by guilt, weighed down by a pregnancy that no longer feels like her own. She confronts Hope in private. Her voice is calm but sharp, as she lays out her ultimatum. End the campaign against Steffi. All the smear tactics, the backstage maneuvering, the silent efforts to push her out of Forrester Creations. Or Luna will release the audio recordings. Every conversation, every manipulation, every mention of the plan between Hope, Poppy, and even Lee. Luna has the files. She's saved them all, and if she releases them, Hope's carefully cultivated image will go up in flames. Hope reacts fast, not with panic, with persuasion. She insists that none of this was about power or jealousy. It was about peace. This is the only way my mother and I can live without Taylor and Steffi hanging over us forever. She says, voice breaking, "You don't understand what they've taken from us." Hope begs Luna to see the bigger picture. She reminds Luna that Brooke was nearly destroyed by Taylor more than once. That Steffi has always had the upper hand. That this was the only way to balance the scales. But what Hope doesn't know, what she can't see, is that they aren't alone. In the corridor outside, just beyond the slightly open door, Brooke Logan hears everything. She only catches part of the conversation, but it's enough. The heartbreak hits her instantly. Hope's voice, so cold and clinical, defending a web of lies built on revenge. Brooke's face goes pale. Her hand trembles against the doorframe. All the years of raising Hope to be different, to rise above the generational dysfunction, feel like a cruel illusion. Brooke stumbles away before she hears more, barely able to breathe. That night, Brooke arranges a secret meeting with Luna. No press, no Ridge, no Forrester board, just the two of them. Brooke does not defend her daughter. She doesn't ask for understanding. What she offers is a way out. A quiet, dignified exit. Luna can leave town, away from the spotlight, away from the scandal. In exchange, Brooke will make sure the recordings never see daylight. She'll pull Hope off the Forrester board. She'll clean the slate. Luna just has to disappear before the next press cycle. But there's a problem. Lee Finnegan finds out. She confronts Brooke the next day, her fury colder than steel. Lee has spent months covering for Luna, defending her to the press, to Ridge, even to her own son Finn. She knows how much damage the internal investigation has already caused. If Brooke tries to force a deal behind the scenes, Lee threatens to release confidential files, internal reports, HR complaints, hidden design credits, and funding trails that could cripple Forrester Creations from the inside out. You're not the only one who knows how to protect her family, she snaps before walking away. The next morning, Brooke calls an emergency meeting. The Forrester boardroom is full. Ridge, Steffi, Carter, Katie, Eric, Donna, Lee, and Taylor. Even Zende and RJ are present. Everyone expects an update on the paternity audit. No one is prepared for what's about to happen. Luna stands up. She's calm, almost serene, but her eyes are filled with tears. She begins by apologizing, not just for the pregnancy scandal or the sample controversy, but for allowing herself to be used. She turns to Steffi and bows her head. I believed I was doing what was right, she says, voice trembling. But I wasn't strong enough to see the damage it caused. Then, in front of the entire board, she turns to Hope. You said it was for peace. But all we created was war. Gasps echo around the room. Hope's mouth opens but she says nothing. Luna continues. She tells everyone about the recordings. About the plan. About the pressure from Lee. About how Hope offered her a future and used her to destroy one instead. The room falls into stunned silence. Taylor looks to Brooke, eyes wide. Steffi stares straight at her rival. Ridge is frozen. Then Brooke rises. No defense. No spin. She turns to the room and says, I failed. As a mother, as a leader, and as a Logan. She takes a deep breath and looks directly at Ridge. I should have taught my daughter to fight clean. I didn't, and I'm sorry. I take responsibility for what happened. But if we're going to clean up this mess, we all need to stop pretending we're not guilty of the same games. The room is silent, and then Brooke delivers the blow. I will pull Hope from all Forrester positions. And I will step down from the board. If Taylor agrees to one thing, leave Ridge. Permanently. No more triangle. No more back and forth. You don't get to benefit from this either. Taylor recoils. You're bargaining with your own daughter's shame? Brooke doesn't blink. I'm ending the war. Taylor shakes her head. No, you're still playing it. Brooke's eyes narrow. You don't get to be the victim in this. You had your own plan. Your return wasn't innocent. You wanted Ridge back the second you stepped into town. Taylor stands, voice rising. I wanted my family back. That's not a crime. Brooke steps forward. Then don't hide behind morals now. Ridge slams the table. Enough. The room breaks into shouting. Carter tries to regain control. Katie pulls Donna aside. Luna starts crying. Hope finally speaks, begging them all to stop. But the war is no longer just Logan versus Forrester. It's mother versus daughter. Sister versus sister. Past versus future. And it's far from over. In the aftermath, Ridge leaves the meeting without saying a word to either Brooke or Taylor. Hope resigns quietly, walking past the PR cameras with her head down. Brooke watches her go, alone in the chaos she tried to control. Taylor returns to her office and begins drafting a press statement. Not about Ridge, but about rebranding her public image. Lee doubles down, preparing to launch her own fashion partnership using Luna as the centerpiece. Reclaiming what's left of her niece's reputation. Luna, for now, remains the wild card. She's been used, betrayed, and publicly broken, but she has something none of them do anymore. The truth, and the power to drop it at any time. In the glittering world of the bold and the beautiful, reputation is currency, and everyone is deep in debt. The next scandal is already loading.